All right, well, we've seen GODSENT get absolutely wrecked on train. Now it's Cash, the choice of ENCE.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep this form going. GODSENT, I feel, will be able to bounce back and at least prove that they're worth a bit more than that first map performance, which was really lackluster, to be fair.
Yeah, kind of surprising, obviously, scoreline, but at the same time, from ENCE's perspective, it's really hard to judge them from map to map, considering the situation that they do have a stand-in that they've only played with for a day. They've had to go through a bunch of maps in just a time span of a day, basically. So, you know, you never really know what's going to come out of the bag when it comes to ENCE today and this weekend. But so far, so good. Obviously, it seems like the dynamic they have right now in the team, with Alo being the upper, Naso being more the supporter role, and then Sunny and Yuho do the rifling, while Xarda is the in-game leader, seems to be working pretty well for them.
Yeah, the thing, we didn't really see their T-side get tested that much because they built up such a decent lead in that first half and then converted in the pistol round the subsequent rounds as well. So going through into Cash, which is starting to see more of a trend towards the T-side, especially sides like NIP, for example, they'll be quite curious to see, can ENCE keep that pressure applied on the T-side, or are they going to start to falter a little bit as we do move across to Cash?
I feel like T-side should be fine. I think the problems may lie in the CT side, where the rotations are really key on the CT side, but they are starting on the T side. Full on armors, and it's going to be a brawl in middle right now. Lekro getting the first one, make it two. He is the master of the pistols, gets a third one as well, and that's a magnificent start for GODSENT. Exactly what the doctor ordered for them, considering what happened in map number one. Is it going to be a clean sweep for GODSENT? It is. Twist and Pronax chiming in with the last two kills.
Oh, he said Lekro was one of those players that is incredibly gifted individually speaking, and he just went to show it there. 3 beautiful one-taps with the USP. The third one was definitely the pick of the bunch, and here is the replay. Just single-handedly shutting down. This is the shot, though. This is it. Boom. Good night, Sonny. Thanks for coming.
Like I said, exactly what GODSENT needed to have, considering what happened in that map number one. Picking up a pistol, not winning either of the two in the map number one. Now, as it seems, ENCE is going to be forcing into this 4 sets of armors on everyone else except for Alo. He's probably trying to save some money for that AWP, and push is coming in from GODSENT already. Snyder has made his way through this A warehouse all the way towards the stairs to T-spawn. He's got the meat grinder, also known as P90, waiting for potential victims.
50 bullets of just pain and misery when you're on the receiving end of that. Definitely something to watch out for. Schneider pushing aggressively. It's Lekro again, who has consistently been landing the shot. Schneider this time is next in line for the kill. And now this opens up the ability to start to push around the back of the terrorists, who are actually taking the bomb to A. So they are going to get this bomb planted. They both went through Squeaky side. And then GODSENT with a collective facepalm. Like, oh, we've been done. We've been baited.
Yeah, this is just GODSENT trying to show some balls, basically playing super aggressively, but, well, obviously that's going to play in the favor of ENCE getting the bomb plant. Not really being able to do much more than that, but that's obviously going to help them going further here. They're going to have to save one more round and then have everything they need for that first weapon round. Very aggressive approach from GODSENT here in round number 2.
Solid result, though, for ENCE with that bomb plant. Now have decisions to make. Do they want to go for a force? They want to save off for the AK-47s with full smokes and grenades. Of course, utility is pretty massive on a map like Cash on the T side, as it is for most maps, in fairness. And they're going to decide to hold off for now. They don't want to channel their inner orbit. They're going to stick and play the patient play instead.
Happy they're not, really, to be honest with you. They've upgraded to have a couple of nades. They're going to be nading a main, expecting a push from the CTs, but this time around, that's not happening. Instead, it's more passive. Well, as I say that, Snyder's just going to go in the door and get the kill number 1 of the round onto Nasu with that P90. And now this is where things are going to slow down slightly, and this is just going to be waiting for a moment to push. But instead, as I say that, they decide to fall back.
Schneider trying to make some inroads through onto A main. Alu, meanwhile, with a P250. Gets the better of Lekro, and there is the P90. He's stepping up again. Spray down on point from Pronax, looking to exchange a second kill for his team. It will be the last kill of the round as well if it went their way, but instead Yuho will at least take down one player with him. And here comes the AK buy, and it's going to be a solid one at that.
Yeah, so now it is ENCE's time to decide what they do. That's going to be interesting also, obviously, to see what kind of an approach is Pronax's GODSENT going to choose here on the CT side. Are they going to play mid-heavy? Are they going to play or leave mid open and just play the sights? What's the option they choose to take? There's plenty to be had here on Cat's CT side. In the meanwhile, though, what is ENCE's approach going to be? It seems like a bit of a default here. Aloe just going to be peeking towards that A main. Puff is going to get totally blinded, but he has like a teammate in Electro coming in. It's going to be the one coming and getting that kill. Another push as well for Ponax. And his teammate on the A main, and that's going to be fast. First 2 kills going the way of GODSENT. Exactly the way that GODSENT actually be playing a lot of the time. And that pays off beautifully for them.
Your strength and numbers approach for Squeaky. If they don't have the second player there, it's probably going to clear-cut kill for ENCE. But as it stands now, Pronax puts his feet firmly on the ground and lands the headshot onto Sunny. And you can see, actually, ENCE did go for the AWP in the hands of Alu, which has proved to be completely fruitless so far.
What this early aggression now means from GODSENT is that ENCE have to just slow down their play in the upcoming rounds, and that's going to play in the favor of the CTs, obviously, meaning that they can preserve more of their nades that have to pre-nade a lot of the spots early on, because you've already sent the message to your opponent that you are playing super aggressively.
45 seconds left on the timer. Still a bit of time for ENCE to try and work a miracle. 2 players low from GODSENT. They still have 3 incendiaries, though, in their hands, which is going to be a real pain in the backside. So even if ENCE do get a pick or 2 and get onto the A side, you expect the fire to be landing. And also, there is a player coming up from behind as well. So ENCE stays a numbered, you have to feel. 25 seconds now. Ali's going to be taking point for his team. Desperately needs to land a frag as soon as possible. They're not going to expect the stack. Lecro up on the barrels. And it falls to Pronax. And Twist is going to be the last player to deliver the fatal blow. So far, really, ENCE have got no traction on their T side of Cash.
Yeah, and they haven't really had the opportunity to do much at all, because just being the aggressiveness from the CTs of Pronax's GODSENT that's been just stopping them in their tracks before they really had anything going on. So now this is something that ENCE needs to realize, the potential for the aggressiveness. They need to take that extra 25 seconds of waiting to see what's going on before committing. Now this means it's going to be another save here coming from ENCE, and Snyder already opening things up with the first kill on the Sunny.
Yep, ENCE tapping out of this round though, so can't get too carried away just yet. Looks like they will take a 5-0 losing streak on Cash. Couple deagles in play for Zata and Yuho. P250s for the remaining 2 Finns, including Alu, who has the bomb in his hands, but without any flashes, no grenades whatsoever to speak of, ENCE are going to be looking to just get those deagles into effect. If they can't, this round will be going the way of the Swedes. And Yuho, in his credit, has got a bit of real estate in mid, so that could prove to be a bit of a thorn in the backside of GODSENT. That grenade goes right past Alu, goes whizzing past his face, nearly lands. Would have done a lot of damage if it did.
Yuho now making his way through middle. It's going to spot one of the CTs on sandbags, but Lecro going to be able to take that pick and make it one less T on the map. Make it a 5-on-3 situation, and that real estate we were talking about all gone for the Ts. But oh, Lecro with another nice shot onto Alu. And yeah, he's going to have more contests coming in, but finally Nasu is going to be able to take all the reins, and Xarda with another nice deagle. Make it a little bit more costly for the CTs, but still it's going to be 5-0 GODSENT. Great start for the Swedes.
5 consecutive rounds for GODSENT. Here comes another buy though. That was an eco. So, ENCE, what do you have in store? Are there some big strats that are going to be called out? I guess this is where you start to find the problems maybe with having a stand-in. Nasu had to learn so many maps and try and fit his way in for Stonda. He was a beast on train, but so far it's been pretty easy. Alu misses another shot that you really expect him to be landing, and in doing so, Sunny's going to fall down. It's now up to Zate to step up to the plate. First kill goes down, but health is very low. This is one of the best opportunities ENCE have had so far.
Making it a 4-on-4 situation, always going to favor the T side. That means that GODSENT on the CT side needs to take some kind of a risk. Started getting another one, make it a 4-on-3. That means more risk is going to have to be made. Steiner already pushing mid. He's going to retaliate, make it a 3-on-3. Fall back towards the vent, but Alu, oh, another shot he should have really had, but, well, that's going to be an opportunity missed for him.
1 minute 5. Alu still alive in this round somehow, some way. A straight gust of wind would take him down at this point. Still alive for his team on the A side. He's going to be peering out with the AWP. The bomber's going to get planted momentarily. Alu's looking for the kill, lands it. A much harder shot than we saw previously when he missed onto the B side, and that pretty much should seal this round up nicely for ENCE as Schneider falls right afterwards. All on Pronax, going to be snaking his way through the A main side. Maybe looking for some exit frags if ENCE decide to push through A main. And that's really all he can get from this round now. Of course, GODSENT will be able to buy back up, no issues, into the next round. They've not lost that many players.
Yeah, ENCE right now, they should not be going for that exit kill on Pronax instead try to stay alive with these three players, considering their money situation is dire. They'll have to drop for these 2 players. And that means they're going to be heavily invested in the round number 7. But it's going to be the first one on the board for ENCE. Obviously, again, never really had the opportunity to do any kind of an execute. It was all about just the CTs once again pushing that B garage, and then the trades going in the favor of ENCE this time around, and finding an empty A site, getting the bomb down. Alu and Yuho getting the kills, leaving Pronax alone in a 1-on-3, and he opts to save it. So that's the first round going the way of ENCE.
And all off the back of a very sketchy confrontation over on the B side, where Alu misses the shot, but there's a lot of damage exchange. You think that ENCE going to come out second best, but managed to snake their way out of it. Now, the next order of the day is to try and break the economy of GODSENT and get themselves back onto a level playing field. Double orbs picked up, though, for the Swedes. Twist and Schneider have one of those apiece. Bomb still dropped out in Garage. If Alu's not careful, he could find himself a victim of Schneider's orb.
More aggressiveness coming in from GODSENT, but Sunny gonna get the kill before Lekr comes in. But Alu with the trade, so that's gonna be a quick 4-on-3 trade-off, favoring the T's, and now things slow down. And that means just one of the CTs right now. Well, in fact, none of the CTs playing B bomb side. Pronax, on the other side of the map, is gonna get a kill. So that's gonna make it a 3-on-3.
ENCE looking to push on A, but that's exactly where GODSENT are starting to stack. This could be a horrendous trap that goes horribly wrong for ENCE. 53 seconds, maybe pushing in prematurely. They're going to get punished with this one. Powerful on quad is going to live the first kill on this 3-on-3. Natsu goes down. The pop flash is perfect. Not able to capitalize on that just yet, and with Pronax low, this round is far from over. That grenade does significant damage onto Palf down at 52. He will fall, but now it's up to Pronax. Oh, it spins around. Yuho gets the second kill as well. Looking for a third and takes it down. ENCE are going to get the clutch, and what a fantastic individual play. And you think it as soon as you see the 3-on-3 and they're moving onto the A site, it's done.
Exactly, it should have been done, obviously, but Yuho did not play in the end. Not really sure how you counter that, to be honest with you. Wasn't something to be expected. And look at the money situation for GODSENT as well. It's going to break their economy. So massive 1-on-3 win from Yuho, and that's going to swing things in the favor of ENCE a little bit here. And that's going to make the scoreline a little bit more equal with the nice, great run from GODSENT in the first few rounds, then ENCE managing to return the favor to the situation.
And it's the price you pay when you invest in a double orb setup and it doesn't work. Nice opening picks from ENCE, making sure they don't let go of this grip that they have back on cash. Zarte is the next player to chime in with the kill, leaving Schneider and Pauf. They both have deagles. You can't underestimate them with these weapons, but ENCE are playing this one very intelligently and looking to push on A, which only has one player residing. That's going to be Schneider and his deagle.
Yeah, but you never know with the deags. Seen a lot of crazy plays with those one, but oh, he's not going to get even the first one as Alu gets the one with the AWP. Now just Pauf left, 1-on-5. What it's important from an ENCE perspective has to be the fact that they try and stay alive with all 5 through this round, meaning that they're going to have to make less investments going in the following round, giving them a bit of a buffer even if they would lose a round in the following one. But Sunny getting that kill, and that's going to be a clean sweep for ENCE.
Money in the bank. More importantly, though, a bit of confidence back in them. After going 5-0 behind, there could have been a little doubt in the back of their minds as to whether they could keep this winning streak going forward. But in fairness to them, 3 rounds on the bounce now to ENCE. GODSENT are going to have a bye, including an AWP in the hands of Schneider. It hasn't necessarily set the world on fire for me so far with the AWP, but I think you can prove me wrong here.
Let's see what the approach is from the CTs. Seems like they're playing 2 on A site, just 1 middle and 2 B, so leaving middle very fragile so far and banking on those bomb sites instead. Pronax just trying to gather some information in middle, and in the meanwhile, ENCE taking things slow. Just one door, kind of a default kind of a strat. Set one towards a B garage here. Sunny waiting for any potential pushes. We've seen plenty of those so far for GODSENT. Has to be said. Another push coming in. Yuho is going to be ready for it, but he's going to get taken down by Pronax. Even though he had a shot there, well, just going to be dealing, well, quite a bit of damage. Twist and Pronax are quite low in this situation.
Oh, Twist has got himself a second kill. And there's the issue. Doing damage is one thing, but you have to finish off the kills. Otherwise, GODSENT can still get those crossfires in effect. And Twist getting the kill through Squeaky Door really hampers ENCE's chances now. The good news for them is they've still got 3 healthy players left alive, including their AWP of Alu. But the bad news is they could be pulling themselves into yet another trap because B is stacked with 3 players. Alu's getting a lot of information in mid, but I don't think they're going to do much with this. They're just going to push on to B.
It's going to come down and hit some crazy shots here. Push is coming in. Alu's going to be the first one in through the vent room from Checkers right now, but neither of the CTs are showing themselves. It's going to be just buying some time for the rotation to come in. The pop flash comes in. No retaliation. No, those shots being taken so far. Started making a lot of damage on the Black Hero. Sunny takes the kill. Now Pop also getting down by Alu, so that's a bomb site wide open and with the best possible plan in the situation, though. There's none of the T's in Checkers right now as, well, the push comes in. Snyder left out with Twist in a 2-on-2.
Oh, Schneider with 2 kills. Now Sunny is in a very sketchy position. It's great if you're in a 3v2, but in a 1v2, it's a one-and-done kind of situation. If the CTs peek him at the same time, he's a dead man. First kill goes down, but Schneider will get his 3rd of the round, and will get GODSENT a much-needed 6th. And that was so close to going ENCE's way.
Exactly, that was so much closer than it was supposed to be. A 5-on-3 situation to start things off in favor of GODSENT. Still somehow ENCE manages to get that bomb site, get the 2 defending the B bomb site. That was Bob, Poff, and Lekro going down. In the end, it was Sunny in a 1-on-2, not managing to win it, but I guess what went in the favor of ENCE is the fact there was only Snyder left in that round, so that means that it's going to be a lot of pressure onto GODSENT right now with their economy. They're going to be, as we can see right now, they're fully invested, so there's reset potential here for ENCE, so we see how that works out.
It's a really good point. It's all well and good that GODSENT got the round, but they could actually really hamstring themselves now if they lose this. They've reset the round loss bonus.
Look at this. It's going to be 4-man onto it. Yeah, ace site right now. And Snyder also getting killed fast. 5-on-3 once again. Here comes the push from the ENCE players. Snyder just going to be playing on the edge of the smoke. I think it just went through the smoke to beat Garage as well. Oh, he's just dancing in the smoke right now. Gets a kill on Xardi as well. No scope of all things. Before Alu manages to make it into 2-on-4. Things heavily favoring GODSENT right now.
That is ridiculous ballsy play from Schneider, and it pays off. They said and still have Alu. I think a weapon switch there at the worst possible moment. Again, and Twist just walks in for a double. And if you could see the look on Natu's face, he's done. He's absolutely done
that's
right
just,
now.
Yeah, Twitch is alone in a 4-on-2 situation. He just decides to plow through the smoke. What is he, Stewie 2K? Well, I mean, Stewie. That worked out very well for him, obviously. That's going to be GODSENT picking up that round, and they survived the danger of getting reset now. As we can see, ENCE's economy is not super good either. So they have a UMP on Sunny and Nasu with that P250. Still plenty of utility to be playing with.
So, shooting on the other foot, it's ENCE who have to try and brave their way through a force buy, knowing that if they lose this, it's back to square one. 4-round deficit, nothing too terrible. ENCE can still salvage this map, make no mistake, but it has to start right here, right now. Navigating their way over the first hurdle of round 11. That's a good way of starting. Pauf. It surprises me that he'd be in such a position without anyone having his back, because that is a free kill now for ENCE.
Look at the gambles GODSENT is making. They had nobody else in that B bomb site. Obviously, now they rotated 2 towards the bomb site. Meanwhile, ENCE is setting up for a potential A push. They're just waiting here, A main, and it's going to be one of the CTs on that bomb site. He's playing that MBK corner right now. That is Molotov very often, so things get really dicey here with Twist.
Playing risky and gambling when you have a massive weapon advantage and AWP's in play and such. That seems like a bit of a mistake, but maybe GODSENT are going to be able to steer the ship away from the rocks and stabilized. 38 seconds. Damage being exchanged between the teams as Yuho goes down to just 2. The Clutchmeister General for ENCE. He's just a couple of shots away from death. The Rizzy actually lands the headshot onto Twist, and that opens up A nicely. And now GODSENT have a decision to make. Do they want to go for the retake right here, right now? That could definitely put a spanner in the works, although Lacro answers back with a frag onto Yuho. He was, however, damaged heavily in the process. Pronax is down to 6 now. And it looks like it is going to be the save. So ENCE, in a really sketchy force buy, get the upper hand onto Pauf, who was caught napping, and managed to convert that into a round.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, considering he didn't have a teammate there in B bomb set, he wasn't really paying too much attention towards Checkers, and he got caught off. He got killed in that situation. In the end, ENCE sort of trying to bait a bit of a fake towards the A bomb side. They threw a couple of smokes, a couple of flashes towards the A bomb side, just waited another 20 seconds before fully committing on the site. And that's going to be ENCE picking up the round. And now let's see what the economy looks like for GODSENT, because the rounds have been very, very close so far.
Certainly have. Even in the 5-0 wreckage towards the start. You saw a couple rounds where GODSENT were just about surviving with 2 or 3 players left. And
well, another situation where GODSENT's economy could be just reset in the situation. Well, obviously not reset totally, but could be eco territory for them.
For sure. Especially on CT side, when they've shown that they want an open play as much as possible in the hands of Schneider. So ENCE have another golden opportunity to drag their way back, to claw their way back into this. 12th round sees an AWP in the hands of Alu, and AKs to accompany it. Grenades to play with as well. And again, mid has been taken very easily. We've seen this a lot from ENCE. They're not necessarily making the most of these opportunities, though.
Yeah, they're taking their sweet time. Still 10 minutes and 10 seconds left. Bomb is towards the vent, but not sure if they're committing to it, really. They're just still thinking of their choices. Maybe trying to see if GODSENT is going to give them an easy frag before committing anywhere. Slider here is the connector, just molotoving towards the vents. Twist has gone down to 48 HP, but Pronax and Boff are going to get the kills. Also, Lekro. That's going to be 3 really fast kills, and the round going in the favor of GODSENT. The bomb is down towards the B bomb set as well.
Yeah, just in a heartbeat, this round gets away from ENCE. Just 3 kills in as many seconds. Alu now, with his AWP, gets the first kill, but
seems like
again, Pronax is timed.
Pronax is his kryptonite. The same thing happened on Train, where he had the perfect angle, but then just took out his knife or took a pistol or took out the grenade, and then Pronax decided to push in. Works out perfectly, but that's the ENCE totally denied there. They got the mid control, but nothing really happened afterwards. Just became really stale after. You need to make a decision of where you want to go, what do you want to commit on, and then eventually it became like a bit of a hasty B move, which was just denied by GODSENT's defense. That means right now that ENCE is going to be the ones that's economy is broken.
Nearly full blocks with a couple of deagles, one of which has came good for Sunny. Are they going to be able to get their hands on the weapon? I don't think so. It's actually dropped out in mid instead, and they're not entirely sure if the second player is in mid from GODSENT. Of course, we have the benefit of the mini-map, and we know that's not the case. The Lekro is lurking in the vents. We'll put down Alu, leaving Nasu and Sunny with all to do. Are more kills going to come down for ENCE? Doesn't look likely, and indeed it won't. Twist is there to pick it up, and ENCE now desperate for 6 rounds on this half, and that's the best they can get.
Exactly, I think the bare minimum you want to have on this T side of Cash. It's become one of these 8-7 kind of maps where, well, more often than not, I think there's more T rounds being won than CT rounds. So definitely 6 is the mark that they're looking for. So far, so good for GODSENT. Some really good intuitive CT side holes, a lot of aggressiveness thrown out in all parts of the map, really. Just going full on ham through the door on A and pushing that B garage as well. So that's really been the issue for ENCE so far, and trying to adjust to that. As I say that, Schneider as well is going to get that first pick at the door area with that AWP.
Pronax has been taken down in retaliation though from Alu, so they're applying pressure elsewhere on the map. May force Twist's hand into playing aggressive in A main, hoping to get some fortunate spray through the wall towards the squeaky side. Nothing home though for ENCE, although Alu has been put down to 51, so still a bit of a precarious round for ENCE, one that they desperately need to get their hands on. Alu's going to be peering through mid, hoping that someone just peeks out and gives his AWP a chance to strike. But in fairness to GODSENT, they're playing this one very disciplined. No one really peeking.
Alu just trying to have a peek here towards the vent, but then as the flash comes in, he decides to fall back and gets the kill on the Twist. Oh, and almost a second on the Lekro, but Lekro is fast enough to get that headshot with an AK. Nice shot before Sunny managed to trade it off as well. Now it becomes a 3-on-2 situation. Slider with a really aggressive angle here. It's going to miss that shot. Should have had that every day of the week, but not this time around. Means, though, the A bomb side is wholly open for business. Well, for the T's, they're going to be taking that bomb in there. Snyder with the retake already. Have a bit of a no-scope, but that's not going to land.
On planted, ENCE had the player advantage, but Palf is there from the truck side, giving GODSENT a lifeline. Schneider with the AWP. It's not necessarily the best weapon to retake sites with, but in this 2-on-2, it just could work. Arte, though, gets the drop on him, and a second kill for ENCE to round things off 9-5, and maybe they can take us into a 6th round as well.
That Molotov forcing Charlotte to take those duels, and in the end, well, they managed to win both of them. Snyder obviously was a little bit surprised, but Poff did have a fair duel, just not winning it. Started getting those, and that's going to be the 5th round for ENCE. And like we said, 6 is the mark that they really want to hit right now. So we can see the GODSENT has had to do a bit of compromise. It's going to be Snyder with that max 7, 8 of P on Electro. He's going to pick one on Alu as well. So that's going to be the first duel going in the favor of GODSENT once again.
Yeah, pure spawn play there for GODSENT. They would typically want that to be in the hands of Schneider, but Lekra had the perfect spawn to peek in through B. And they know that ENCE have tried to do this time and time again. Here comes the force through, and the headshot from Schneider, splattering the brains all over the wall from Nasu. Huge kill for GODSENT. A has been completely taken down for GODSENT, but ENCE aren't giving it up. They're going to put the rest of their players, the rest of their manpower over onto the A side, and Sunny lands a shot in mid, I believe that was.
Look at this, 2 of the CTs are pushing A main right now. Oh, timing works perfect for Sunny, who's running middle, and the 2 other Ts are actually making their way through door, as Sunny gets picked off by Pronax. It's going to be down to Xardi and Yuho, who are soon going to realize the A bombs that are totally clear, but they are all the way in connector already, so we've got a lot of duels coming in. Pronax going down, goes down by Yuho. Now it becomes a 2-on-3.
Pretty crucial kill, especially to get it clean. Oh, they don't think that Schneider might be wrapping himself back through Squeaky. Zart is about to get caught from behind. There's no doubt about this. In there we go, Schneider. He may have taken 2 shots, but still makes them count. And GODSENT will take a 10-5 lead into the first half of the map. Now, this was the same scoreline, I think. Roles reversed that ENCE picked up on Train. They won the pistol and then pretty much walked away with it. So, a lot of pressure on ENCE now.
Yeah, it was just a good CT half from GODSENT. Really dynamic, a lot of pushes. An A-door in the garage, also pushes in middle, and also delayed pushes with pop flashes through the A garage and in middle, everywhere really. And it seemed like ENCE had a hard time trying to adjust to the situation. As we can see, it seems like a couple of the GODSENT players have opted to take a bit of a toilet break.
Gives ENCE a chance to maybe mull things over, figure out what they want to try and achieve on the CT side. Now, just talking before, you said that you thought that CT side may be the more vulnerable of the 2.
I mean, online, when we've been playing with the full lineup, actually the CT side has been really good on this map, and they have really found the right flow of when to play a retake on A, and how to position themselves considering how the round's been going on. But obviously now with the dynamic changing, with Nasu coming in, that might, it's going to be interesting to see how that changes things. And I think this is one of the maps where precise rotations, coordination, understanding of situational awareness as a team really comes into play a lot. So, I could see, because of the changes and them not having time to practice together, could be a problem for ENCE here.
Well, as you can see, there are a couple players absent for GODSENT. They have nipped to the toilet. A tactical pause, apparently.
They have to take one. That's the only way. If you want to take a piss, then, well, they take a tactical timeout if you're not fast enough.
I suppose if you're desperate, you just have to, when nature calls, you have to answer, right?
It's only fair, I guess.
Yeah.
They're only human after all, as far as I know.
Well, they looked very human, very mortal on Train.
They definitely did, but they showed up here, Cass.
They have.
Definitely will have worked their way and done a good job. I think a lot of teams have been struggling a lot on the CT side, so it's cool to see GODSENT really be innovating with the CT side and recognizing the fact that you need a lot of aggressiveness to be able to deliver on the CT side. You could say, I mean, the key point is that you want to interfere with the Ts before they really get to their executes, because you can throw a lot of set nades, or a lot of set Molotovs and smokes on this map to make it super uncomfortable for the CTs. But as we can see, Pronax and Snyder are back on their seats. We should be back into this momentarily.
That's the dream. Looking like that may be a bit chilly. Putting the sweaters on, keeping their hands warm, keeping themselves.
Combination of AC and less people in the arena or the area where they play right now.
True that. Orbit behind them as well. Be watching over with Hawkeyes, just on the chance that they will be playing them further on in the tournament. I believe it's Hellraiser's Orbit, I think, in the semi-finals tomorrow.
Yeah, and then the winner of this is going to face Dignitas.
Right. That's going to be pretty rough ask. Dignitas looked on form today. Did have a couple of sketchy moments, but managed to persevere through, which is normally an issue that they had. But here we go, live into the second half of Cash, the second map.
Right.
ENCE need this pistol desperately.
As we can see, GODSENT, not a single grenade being bought. Well, except for the decoys, obviously, but no smokes, no flashes, and a fast push towards middle. Commenting, Allo will be the lone guy here mid, and he's going to spot a lot of them. I think he saw all four of them right now. It's going to be falling back. And the meanwhile, though, GODSENT not committing to it. They're not going to get going highway. Instead, they're gone through the vent into B garage. This looks like a good old matchmaking strategy, just running around the map, and Sunny opening things up with the first one. In the meanwhile, though, Nozzle's gone down to 8 HP. Now the A push is coming in. Xarda here in the back of sight. It's going to get pressured. Oh, to carry Yuho is going to go down. Xarda, though, with the kill. It's a 4-3 favoring the CTs right now, but Xarda under immense pressure right now from the two Ts because they're coming in, trying to take the knife out, not working out in that battle. And now it's a 3-on-3. And an after plant should be happening momentarily.
Just run out of bullets. Pure and simple, unfortunate for ENCE, but Alu and Sunny gonna try and salvage this. Alu had a couple of chances with his USP. Spots another player just peeking around the corner of quad. Meanwhile, Twist is on the prowl from behind, and if he starts to get a move on, ENCE are gonna be in all sorts of trouble. Sunny's about to get caught. Twist actually misses his chance, but Palf now from the other side. It's just too many angles to cover from ENCE, and well, GODSENT have done it. They pick up the second pistol.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't recognize the fact that Twist probably is flanking from somewhere, and they were just buying time for Twist to come in from car. He eventually managed to get the kill, and that was just, like I said, a bit of a old-school matchmaking shot from GODSENT, just running around the map, trying to get for the picks. Well, initially looked pretty good for ENCE, actually, but at the end of the day, it was a 2-on-3 situation that favored GODSENT, and they got the round. That's going to be 11-5 score line here favoring the Swedes.
A bit of a half-buy situation, actually. It's really only Sunny who's fully invested into this. There's a couple of Eagles as well, but Alu, who will more than likely be interested in getting that up as soon as possible, just with a P250, so minimal investment. Twist with the headshot. We'll be trying to silence ENCE, so they can't get anything out this round. Zarte trying to actually spam through the squeaky door with his Deagle. It's down to 46. But this should be business as usual from GODSENT. Although, with all this flirtatious play on A, it's allowed ENCE to start to stack their way over here with CZ to try and come to fruition from Sunny, but looks like he's firing blanks, and now Alu's P250 all that stands between GODSENT and a flawless round, and it will be just that, 12-5, looking good for the Swedes.
Well, that was a flawless anti-eco, obviously. Low HP, I think, on 3 of the GODSENT players, but not able to get that last bullet in for ENCE players, and it's going to be 12-5 scoreline. Just a really slow, methodical kind of approach from GODSENT, and she's using their utility, plowing into that bomb site, and they make it work in the end. And now a full save here coming up from ENCE.
Nasu, I just noticed Nasu's on 1 for 14.
Oh well,
that is rough.
Well, you get some, and then you don't get some.
It's sad to me because he has been one of the guys that's been stepping up over the other maps that we've watched today. That happens.
Yeah,
it goes back to what we were saying before. Standing in, not the easiest thing to do on such short notice. Pronax and Twist will finish things off, and round's over before it even began, really, for ENCE. But here's the moment they've been building up to. This is the moment they have to start to mount a comeback. I'm expecting to see an AWP in the hands of Alu. I'm expecting to see M4s accompanying it, and hopefully, from ENCE's fans' point of view, some rounds to follow.
Yep, this is the real deal for them right now. Round number 19, 13-5. This is the lead for GODSENT, so definitely the time where ENCE needs to start picking up some rounds. It's going to be a simple play towards the B-bomb side once again. The realm of possibilities right now for GODSENT. Just waiting for the right time, to be honest with you. Just one CT playing this B-bomb. So no, actually it's 2. They were stacking up. Sunny and Nasu here, and here comes the ball flash. Sunny totally blinded. Oh, but I don't think they saw him really, and that's the first 2 kills going the way of ENCE. And that plow not working out. And now Steiner going to be locked here in the checkers before Twist gets a kill in the Sunny.
So paramount importance that ENCE don't let this slip from here. Yes, you've got the 2-player advantage, but we've seen much Naya and Pronax are capable of doing very intelligent players. Alu unable to get that done on 2 times of asking. Will it come back to haunt them, though? To be fair, from this position, if GODSENT can just take another 2 or 3 weapons away, that may be good enough, even if they lose the round. Just put as much economic damage on ENCE as possible, but it seems like ENCE are not going to be able to hold on to 4 weapons.
That would really be important for them going further, obviously, to make sure they have all the utility, because there's a lot of, especially if you play that A side passively, you need a lot of grenades to be able to retake it. If you have, then it's very possible to do. And there, Alu, ooh, another miss here in a situation where you should have had that, but Yuho in the end takes the kill. And that's going to be a round going the way of ENCE, and a rather clean one. And again, we see the similarities from map number 1 coming into map number 2 on the T side of GODSENT, just plowing into the bomb side with a pop flash.
He seems to be struggling a little bit at this point. He missed, I think, 3 or 4 shots in that round that he'd have really favored himself to land. He's on 13-15, all things considered, which when you consider his team is 13-6 behind, not too shabby, but bulk of his kills, I feel, haven't really been from the AWP itself. It's been the M4 and the AKs.
Well, to be fair, it's not been the main opera for his team for quite a while.
That's
so,
a good point, yeah. Kind of forced into this situation,
yeah,
really.
So could be, you know, making it a little bit inconsistent in that regard. But well, here we go. Once again, it's going to be full buy, obviously, for GODSENT as well. Things have started off really slow this time around. Doesn't seem like they're going to be just blasting their way into a bomb site. Instead, maybe a full-on out execute. Just waiting here to happen so far. Well, when I say that, it's actually 3 of the T's are towards that middle garage, so that doesn't really say a whole lot of what's to come, really, from GODSENT.
Just testing their boundaries with ENCE. The pop flashes haven't been working too well, so maybe start to revert back to a more standard play style. GODSENT taking the bomb over towards the B side now with 50 seconds left on the timer. Electro trying to play interference over on Squeaky, doing as much as he can to keep a couple of these CTs interested. Actually, he's kept 3 of the counter-terrorists here. Mid control has been given up from ENCE at the expense of lives, and they need to at least get 1 kill back. They're going to check this side, and so to strike 1 kill, 2 kills as well, down to 7 HP. Surely not a 3rd. The flash comes out, and he preempted this, but still will fall down due to the fact he was so low. And now Alu in a 3-on-1. 15 seconds to hold this off. There's the first kill. The bomb's been dropped as well. He hears noise behind him. Alu's going to be looking for the second frag. He's landed that one as well. And now this is very doable. 8 seconds left. And Pronax on 4 HP has it all to do. 5 seconds. Alu doesn't even shoot. He switches instead. And after getting himself from a 3v1 to a 1-on-1, it goes horribly, horribly wrong.
That saddens me. Everything was aligned. He was doing so well. Got the last 2 kills. There was no time for Pronax to even plant the bomb anymore. And then he was about, he was in between taking that shot and just realizing in that moment that all he needed to do was just trying to run the clock down. And then that's when he just leaned towards the wall. And well, Pronax managed to get the kill. But here we go. Round number 21 already going on here. 14-6 for GODSENT. Alu picking 1 kill up here. It's going to be a full-on force buy for ENCE. 1 M4, 2 CZs, and 2 UMPs in play. But that's definitely not a pretty way to lose a round.
Well, from God to bot, I think it's safe to say in the blink of an eye, he'll be reeling after that. And ENCE could very well just bow out as a result. Oh, Electro just adding salt on the wounds, headshotting through the smoke. Nasu didn't know what hit him. Yuho's also low. ENCE with the final roll of the dice maybe on cash. And of course, if GODSENT do convert from here, we'll be moving to Mirage, which is the map that saw ENCE win in overtime 1917 earlier on. But GODSENT still need to win the next 2 rounds. Well, just 2 rounds overall in the next 9.
Yep, definitely favoring them right now. Seems like indecisiveness still from GODSENT. Don't really know what they want to do. The bomb was in between the B and middle garage so far. They have 2 players here, or 1 boosted up in middle. That's going to be Twist trying to get some information, but it's not going to really find anything in middle. It's not how the CTs are playing that. Meanwhile, it seems like 3 of the CTs are banking on an A push. And that is in the realm of possibility still.
The time as well, Natty. 20 seconds left.
It's another fake, by the way.
It is. ENCE have bit onto this. But Sonny, he's hearing the pitter-patter of footsteps to his right-hand side, and he goes too early, and he misses his chance, and as a result, he may very well die. He was maybe the last piece of the puzzle. In fairness to him, though, he hasn't re-peaked. He's waited for the rest of his team to come in and help him out and give him some support. So now this retake is a lot more doable. 2 UMPs find themselves in a now a 2-on-4 retake. Alu just drops down. He's going to drop to his death. There's the second kill from Twist, keeping the dream alive, and a 3rd as well. 2 headshots in a row, and Pouf will just about save GODSENT, who are looking to struggle there. And this has to be a roller coaster of emotions for you, Natty, because ENCE have had so many chances, and they just haven't converted on cash.
Yeah, that has pretty much been the name of the game. Obviously, kudos to GODSENT. They've, especially CT side, they played flawlessly to just utilize their aggressiveness, which ENCE was not able to answer to. Now again, ENCE with the possibilities, but just a lack of timing for Sunny, I guess, is one of the incremental parts of it. But Pronax already starting things off. Slider as well, making it a quick 5-on-3 situation. Favorite GODSENT, so desperate times right now for ENCE.
3 CZs. Kevlar behind them, but all 5 Swedish players remain intact. Twist is one of them. Stepped up massively for GODSENT in the previous round with 3 kills. And now ENCE are, well, they are circling the drain on Cash. There's no two ways about it. They will be very likely bowing out. We'll be moving across to Mirage unless Nasu can just pull off a miracle. First kill for him. Actually picks up 2 beforehand. He got the kill into Lekro. A third is about to peek him. He's got an AK-47, a minute to play with. The bomb hasn't been planted just yet. But it will be on A in the next few seconds.
Yeah, he's got one flanking as well, so it's going to take a lot of mistakes from GODSENT to throw this one away. But Snyder already on the move. He's on the hunt, and Nasu with no idea of that happening. Oh, Snyder slightly whiffing a few shots, but in the end, makes it happen. It's going to be a 16-6 scoreline. GODSENT bouncing back after a horrible map number 1. And they're going to have a stomp of their own in Cash.
Yeah, returning the favor. I believe the first map was 16-6 as well. So they will be bouncing back and fighting fire with fire. So Mirage, we said this would be a close match. We thought it would be 2-1. It wouldn't be a 2-0 blowout.
Yeah, 16-6, 6-16.
So it is the same scoreline, just reversed. And it's been close in the respect that both maps have been stomps to either side.
Yeah, the rounds themselves have been super close. A lot of them, like we saw, like on the second half, obviously you saw the Aloe 1-on-3 where he had it obviously, but I think he realized just in the blink of a second that he just needs to dodge, and then he leaned towards the wall and notices that Pronax is right there and takes a shot and manages to connect with the bullets, because I think Aloe was down to like 30-40 HP maybe. So, well, that's the kind of things that sometimes happen, Counter-Strike.
It does. So the players are going to get themselves a bit of rest, try and recover, and jump into the third map. I suggest you do the same. So we're going to cut to a very quick commercial break. We'll be right back after these short messages.